All right. Good morning. It is Thursday, July 10th, and it's pretty early in the morning, earlier than I was thinking we were going to go. Here we are, doing the puzzles. So, let me make sure nothing went wrong on my end. There we are. Okay. For some reason, yet again, I can't see the chat on my end. Here, sometimes refreshing the page helps. We had a great day yesterday. My couple of family friends came over to play. They're younger kids, and my wife and her came and just talked for hours. It was great. It was really nice. We just we're really lucky to live in the neighborhood that we do and have the friends that we do. It's really nice. I love it. Hey, Gianmarco, good morning. Sorry, the chat just came up. I had to refresh the page. I don't know, whatever. You're here. I'm glad you're here for 10 minutes. So I'd love to hear, how did the first day go? I hope everything went well. You were saying that you had to dive in and and go back just yesterday, right? Yeah, I hope that went well. You're awesome. Okay. Let's see. So let's dive in. Let's make connections. So we're creating 4 groups of 4, and I see drab, blow, misspoke. That's funny. Tire, duct, waste, fatigue, exhaust, rim, khaki, hose, lose, 10, lose, pipe, hub, and camo. I already have a secret task to do that not any student should know about. Oh, wow. Okay. So the first thing that came out was spoke, tire, rim, and hub. This feels like, I don't know, almost like a wooden, like a wagon wheel. Maybe just a bike. Parts of a wheel. Okay, it's any kind of wheel. My immediate thought when I read spoke and rim, I don't know why I thought this. That old wooden wagon wheel. All right. So I saw camo, khaki, drab, maybe fatigue. These are waste, pipe, lose, exhaust. Let me try that one. Yeah, okay, it is. Military clothing descriptors. Absolutely. Yep. Fatigue, khaki. Why do they call it fatigues? That's a strange word for different types of clothing, isn't it? I've always wondered about that one. To exhaust your money, to blow your money, to lose your money, and to waste money. Oh, crud. It's one away. Oh, okay. So how about the opposite then? Right? So hose, duct, pipe, and exhaust. Right? This is for a venting system. HVAC. Ventilation. Yep. Used in ventilation. And then lose, blow, miss, and waste. Waste a chance, miss a chance, blow your chance, and lose the chance. Right? Yeah, failure to take advantage of an opportunity. There it is. Awesome. Hey, and Gianmarco, did you notice the day you left, I did it in reverse rainbow order, and the day you get back, I played in normal rainbow order. That's pretty cool. I did that for you. Buddy. That was 100% on purpose. Cool. All right. So yeah, doing it in rainbow order. We started with the yellow. Parts of a wheel, right? Hub, rim, spoke, and tire. The green category was military clothing descriptors: camo, drab, fatigue, and khaki. Very rare to see a purple category that's synonyms. Yeah. Oh, totally. All of these were. Well, I guess yellow wasn't, but yeah, very, very strange to see purple be a synonym category. That's funny. Let's see. Used in ventilation, duct, exhaust, hose, and pipe. That was the blue category. And then, yeah, strange to have the purple category just be synonyms, right? Fail to take advantage of as an opportunity. To blow your chance, to lose out on, to miss your chance on, to waste. Yeah, awesome. Okay, I like it. I like it. Yeah, that was super doable. That was just like, okay, dive in, let's play. we got it. Boom, boom, boom. We did miss one, though. Like, what was the one that we skipped over? Mistake distribution 1. Yep. Because I said to blow. Oh, to exhaust. Like, to exhaust your chances. That's not as often as blow, lose, miss, and waste. So I agree with that. Definitely more for ventilation. I actually spent a good long time, was that a month ago now, cleaning out my ventilation system. You know, your dryer has to have a vent to the outside of your house. And I was talking to, actually, that friend that came over yesterday, and her husband was like, yeah, that is not up to code. That's not up to code. The vent that goes from my dryer to the outside is like 18 feet long, and I think code, I don't know, whatever the national code is, it's definitely shorter than that, way shorter than that. And so if a home inspector came by and said, no, you can't do that, we would have to like tear it out and make it shorter. Right now, the way it is, it goes and like butts up with the vent for the other room, for the bathroom fan. Oh my gosh, what a mess. All right, well, let's dive in. We're wasting time talking. Here's the timer going. A 5x5 crossword is a cube. No, cube would be 3-dimensional. I don't know. Breakfast sandwich option. Oh, heaven help me if this is bagel again. They love using the word bagel. From way back when. Long ago. I don't know, we'll come back. Like much toothpaste. Makes me think minty. Right? I could be wrong on that. First, second, or third, but not fourth. Fourth place. Like podium, you get a medal if you're in first or second or third. I don't know, let's come back. Party game with accusations from villagers. Oh my gosh. My kids love games like this. Gosh, why can't I think of the word? I don't know, we'll come back. It'll be blaringly obvious in a minute. Total Legends. Makes me think Legends, makes me think it ends in an S. Maybe bagel is wrong. Is that crazy? Maybe I'm wrong there. Because none of these are firing off to me. Total Legends. Icons. Maybe I'm wrong there too. I don't know. Actor Nick of Hollywood Walk of Fame. I don't know how to spell. Am I spelling that right? Nolte? Nick Nolte? The NBA's Pacers. I think that's Indiana. Fail at stand-up. To fail at stand-up comedy is to get panned, to... I don't know. We'll come back. Oh, here. 5x5 crossword. This is so meta. Mini. The 5x5 is a mini. Breakfast sandwich option. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. We're going to put bacon on it. From way back... way back when? How about of old? Yes! Oh my gosh, I just saw it. Duh. It's because I put... I didn't put bacon at first. I put bagel. And I couldn't think of what this word was. Therefore, I couldn't remember that it's mafia. Mafia. Okay. Fail at stand-up. First, second, or third, but not fourth. But this one makes sense. Fail at stand-up. Bomb. Okay, we're off. One square's a miss. Let's go through them, just make sure we have them right. No, I'm not going to do the reveal or the check or anything. 5x5 crossword is the mini crossword. Breakfast sandwich option, bacon, yum. From way back when, of old. Like much toothpaste, minty. First, second, or third, but not fourth. Okay. Oh, it's an E. It's an E. That's why. Base. First base, second base, third base. No, there's no fourth base. There's home base. And then I just didn't know. Okay, actor Nick Nolte, but it's spelled Nolte. There it is. All right, that's so funny. We spent 5 minutes and 36 seconds mainly yapping for the first, minute and 30 seconds. But hey, you know what? We did it. We did it at some point, right? Hey, Sander, welcome back, man. Awesome. All right, Jean-Marco is saying 8 across is a clue for July 31st connections. Does the game pick the next puzzles? You pick the next puzzle. So there's just one puzzle each day. They're at the New York Times. New York Times is primarily a news source, right? It's a newspaper. But they have a whole team that does like the variety things, comic strips and all that stuff. And they have an entire team that writes and edits these puzzles, right? So we just started off. You can see at the bottom there what I start off with. It's kind of covered by the chat, sorry. But I start off with the connections puzzle, right? And then we move on to the mini crossword, and then we do the Wordle, and then the Strands, and then the letterbox. That's just the order I've done them forever. We haven't gone over it. Let's go over it real quick. Okay, so a 5x5 crossword puzzle, very meta. This is the mini. It's even in the title, mini crossword. Breakfast sandwich option. I want mine with bacon. Actually, that sounds really good. Maybe I'll make some of those today. From way back when, of old. Like much toothpaste, minty. I think I told you in the past, I think a couple weeks ago, I do not like cinnamon. Now, I love cinnamon. Like, don't get me wrong. I love, like, real cinnamon, right? Put cinnamon on toast or curry or, whatever. But artificial, like, red cinnamon, like, where did they get red from? Oh, my gosh. I cannot tolerate that stuff. Not going to lie. Wordle is the only puzzle you know. That's okay. Totally fine. Totally fine. It's fun that we get to learn these together, right? I have so many people come on and they're like, what puzzle are you playing? And I forget that, like, not everyone knows all the games. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's learn it together then. Actually, the Wordle is the one we do next. So stick around because that's the one we do just next. First, second, or third base, but not fourth. There's a home base. Party game with accusations from villagers. That's Mafia. There's so many offshoots of that game. It's great. There's one about being a fascist or secret Hitler. That's a funny one. I don't know if I can say the H word on a live stream, but that's a fun game. Am I a teacher? Yes, I'm a teacher. I get to be here early in the morning with you guys because I'm on summer break right now. We don't have to go back until, I think teacher meetings start on like the 6th of August. Something like that. Yeah, I teach photography, video, and TV broadcast. I love it. I teach all the fun stuff. I mean, this is it, I have the mindset for this kind of thing. I teach how to do a live stream in my video production classes. I teach them how to use a camera, how to set up lighting, how to block a scene, how to write a storyboard, how to use Photoshop, Lightroom Classic, Premiere Pro in my video editing class. It's so fun. Super, super fun. I love it. If I was an English teacher, I don't know if I would last, but I get to do fun stuff all day. It's so great. Total Legends, Icons. Actor Nick of Hollywood Walk of Fame, Nolte. I just didn't know how to spell Nolte. I knew the name. I've heard the name before, Nolte. The NBA's Pacers, familiarly. You might refer to them as Indiana Pacers. Fail at stand-up, bomb. Yeah, if you're not very good at stand-up comedy, you might bomb your try at it. Okay, next one, the Wordle. Okay, Sander was saying, man, I love the Wordle, so I'm glad you're here for this part. All right. And if you are shouting answers to me, that's great. I just won't be looking. I don't look at the chat during the Wordle because I don't want anybody like spoon feed me the answer. You know what I mean? But if you want to shout out some ideas, just talk amongst yourselves. That would be fine too. Okay, so I'm going to start with... How about chant? No help at all. Okay. Every time I get no help at all at the very first one, I'm always like, okay, there is a chance. It's not a high chance, but there is a chance that I could do the actual answer as one of my non-intersecting words, right? I mean, mathematically, that's what it would be, right? If I got it on that one. Okay, so what do we guess next? How about mouse? Okay, there's an M and there's a U. Is this a word? Drippy? It's two P's. It's two P's. Okay. We may have to double up on a letter. I don't like to double up on letters. If I can help it, I don't want to. Bridey? Bridey, is that a word? No, it's not a word. It would just be nice to use a non-intersecting word here, you know? Maybe I'm up in the night about that though. Pilky? Is that a word? No, it's not a word. Milky is a word. Silky is a word, but I already used the S. Filpy? I'm making up words at this point. Okay, how about B-R-I-D-E? Knowing full well that is not a... No, it's a non-intersecting... It's not a non-intersecting word. It uses the E just like the word mouse did. Oh, I could have played mousy. Oh, that was dumb. That's okay. Hindsight is 20/20, right? Okay, so we could have played mousy. And then bride, I already know the E is not in there. Oh, come on! Really? Shoot. Shoot. Man, if we'd played mousy instead of mouse. Alright, next time I get the chance, I'm not going to play mouse. I'm going to play mousy. See if I can add a Y to the end. Okay, so what do we know? There's an M, but it's not in the right place. There's a U, and it's not in the middle. So, like... No, it can't be consonant, because that would lead to the U. Okay, so... What if it's like blank, 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 M-Y? Or, oh my gosh, hold on. Look at this. Lumpy. That's a funny word. We haven't guessed the L. U could go there. M could go there. We haven't guessed the P. We haven't guessed the Y. It would tell us new positions for the M and the U. And it would also tell us if the Y is in there. Lumpy. Oh my gosh, please tell me it's lumpy. Okay, it's not. But okay, so what could this be then? Vumpy. Oh, it could be jumpy. Oh man, are you okay? You feeling jumpy? Fumpy. No, frumpy is a word. Grumpy is a word. Okay, if it was a 6-letter word, maybe it would be grumpy or frumpy. Wumpy. Zumpy. Vumpy. Oh no, it's jumpy. It's got to be jumpy. Okay, good. It's got to be. Oh gosh, I'm sitting there thinking, what the heck? And hey, pretty cool. We're at 150 in a streak. I like that. We've played 195 times already. Nearly 200. 5 more and we're at 200. That's cool. That is super, super cool. Right at the beginning, while I was still trying to get my pacing and figure out when to do the live stream and stuff, I missed my streak. I think it was just one day. There was one day that I missed my streak. Other than that, it's been, constant. Speaking of when I go live, do you like mornings like this? Or do you like if we go like in the afternoon? If I were to go, let's see. If I were like 6-7 hours later, no, actually 7 or 8 hours later than I am right now, would you be like, oh my gosh, this is too late? No. Or would you prefer it if I was later like that? I don't know. Because it'll come, there will be a time when I have to go that late. Because school starts again, for about a month still, I get to enjoy just doing it early in the morning. Sandra says it's midnight. Okay, all right. Well, maybe that's a little late because it'll be tomorrow, where you are. It'll be tomorrow. So I'll do the Thursday puzzles, and you're like, I've already done these. That was yesterday. But it's just barely starting for me because time zones. Yeah, that's funny. Cool. Okay, so we went on quite a journey here for this one. Chant. That was no help. And then mouse. I should have guessed mousy. That would have given the Y away, right? And then I wouldn't have to double the E for the word bride. And I'm sitting there like, come on, what's left? I guess the strength of the non-intersecting word thing is that I really do knock out a bunch of letters, even, it's process of elimination, even if I do miss out on some of those. So chant, mouse, bride, all I got out of all of those was the M and the U. So I'm mixing letters around, thinking, all right, there's a Y left. I haven't guessed a P, haven't guessed an M. What do I guess here? And I guessed lumpy, which was not the L, but it was the rest of it. And then the only other letter that made sense there was jumpy. Cool. All right. Well, while we open the other puzzles, if you like what you see, drop a like. Consider subscribing because we do this every day. And I'll come right into your feed, and you can play the puzzles with me every morning. It's really fun. It's just really fun. We did the connections, we did the mini, we did the Wordle. Now we're diving in and doing the Strands. And if you've never done the Strands puzzle before, think of it like a word search, right? We're going trying to find words out of here, except they don't tell you what words they are. And it doesn't just go left and right, up and down. These words can kind of snake around in any direction. There are 7 we have to find, really 6 words, and then one phrase that kind of ties the theme together. This theme, today's theme, nap time, could mean a lot of things. It could be times that you wish you could have taken a nap. It's maybe about time. It's maybe about napping. I don't know, sleeping, something. I see the word sleep. Oh my gosh, tell me this is the spangram. Hold on. Sorry. Here I am. Sleepy head. Oh my gosh. Okay, spangram, first thing. Is this like when you would sleep? Sleepy head, nap time. Where did you see day? Oh, D-A-Y. There it is, yeah. But we've already used these letters. Fatigue. 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 With a D on the end. There we go. Okay. Okay, so when you're fatigued, is this like why you would take a nap? I'm trying to figure. I still haven't fully like nailed the theme. If you're drowsy, you take a nap. There's a CK. What does CK go? There's two Ks together. If you're just tired. You're knackered. Oh, okay, so this cluster is actually 2 words. That's why. Because it's 5 out of 7. Yeah, tired. We're seeing good words here. Oh, you're spent. Man, oh man, after a tough day, I am spent. Or you're weary. Great words. All synonyms for when you're tired. Cool. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Okay, sorry, I knocked things off my desk there. Okay, so let's go back to the puzzle. Nap time. We saw the spangram first. That's so funny. We saw the spangram just first thing. So we've got sleepyhead as the spangram. Tired. You might take a nap. I might take a nap now. I don't know when I finish this puzzle. When you're drowsy, when you're tired, when you're knackered. I saw the 2 Ks next to each other. I was like, is it a KK word? I don't think so. KN. Silent K at the beginning. Weary, when you're spent. Oh, man. After a long day, working in the yard or teaching or something, I am just spent. Or fatigued. Love that. Okay, good. I can relate. Who can't relate to that, right? Okay. And then we're going to play the Letterboxd. Letterboxd, 2 days ago, oh my gosh, this one kicked my butt. Yesterday was very doable. We knocked it out pretty quickly. And today I think we're going to do fine too, because we have to solve it in 5 words. Now, if you've never played Letterboxd before, we've got these 12 letters that go around this box here, Letterboxd, right? And we are trying to span across making words, right? So we can spell like fur, right? That kind of thing. Now, we can't do 2 on the same side, one after the other, like F-I-R, right? Because F-I are on the same side. We can bounce around, that's fine, you know, but we can't. Let's familiarize ourselves with the puzzle first before we start diving into making words. E, F, and I on the one side. Then we got L, H, and R. N, U, and X. Oh, man, we got to find a way to get rid of that X first thing. C, O, and G. Okay, so I do see I-N-G. That will come in handy. How do we get rid of this H? We can do C-H. We can do C-H. That's fine. It's not going to let us do proper names. You can't do proper names, like Nixon. I'm just thinking of X words. Oh, gosh, what a great word, recoil. But I can't do recoil because it's on the C and the O. Guys, if you see anything, shout it out in the chat. I would love to incorporate your guesses into this puzzle. How do I get rid of the X? Oh, look at this. Exiling. To send someone into exile is exiling. Do you say exit or exit? I think there's different thought processes there. Do you like exit or exit? I think I say exit more often. It's like a G sound though, isn't it? There's no A in the puzzle. I keep thinking of things that have an A in them. Ghoul. That's a good word. Ghoul. Lichen. Isn't that how you spell it? Yeah, that's how you spell lichen. And then nerf. To nerf something. That's funny because nerf used to be a proper name, right? It's nerf or nothing. You buy those, foam guns. That's nerf guns. But nerf is now a common dictionary word, sort of like Kleenex. You use Kleenex all the time, but now Kleenex kind of just means facial tissue. Nerf has a name to it now, a dictionary definition, to lower the ability of something. It was programmed in a game to be really strong, and then it's like, oh, that's too powerful. We lower it from a having a gun to just a little Nerf gun, right? So it's nerfed, so it has less firepower. Oh, I was gonna see, how did they solve it yesterday? Dognap and pickerel. What are these words even? What is that? We call Nerf guns plastic gun. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Nerf guns are the little foam bullets. They don't even hurt. You can have a Nerf war and shoot at each other point blank, and they don't hurt. Well, maybe point blank would hurt if you shot really close. That might not feel good. All right, we had to solve it in 5 words today, and we did it in 4. A couple of kind of funny words, right? Exiling. I said exiling just to get rid of the X first thing, and then the G led to ghoul that used up the H. We'd already used the L, and then the L led to lichen, right? The moss that grows on a tree is lichen. There are actually 2 different ways to spell lichen. Liken is lichen, like to liken something to you, to compare something to something, to liken one to the other. But this is lichen, like the moss on a tree lichen. And then the N leads to nerf, which I think is funny. It is a proper name, used to be a proper name, and now to nerf something as a verb is to lower its capability, usually in a video game. That's funny. All right. Well, let's recap. That was cool. We got to do those. And at the top here, as we recap our puzzles, if you like what you see, give it a like. Consider subscribing. We do this every day. So my Wi-Fi is weak. Same, brother, same. I'm actually calling my internet company maybe to sever ties in the next couple days so we can get a better connection. I want to get something super, super fast so that I can, multi-stream if I want to, Right now I'm lucky to get one stream out. I was watching my stream yesterday, and the mouth and the words weren't lining up with each other for a little while because my internet just sucks. Oh, my internet's so terrible here. So we were thinking of upgrading. It's going to cost more money. Of course it's going to cost more money, but it's going to be so worth it, just in so many ways. So, all right, we did the connections puzzle in rainbow order. These were 4 groups of 4. First they're just scattered, and then you make collections of them, 4 groups of 4. The yellow is the most straightforward, the least tricky. And then the purple should be usually the trickiest, the least straightforward. And yet, today, it was actually not that bad. It was really not that bad. So, yellow was parts of a wheel. We got the hub, the rim, the spoke, and the tire. I don't know why, but my initial thought was a wooden wagon wheel. But they don't have tires on them. They just have, like, the rim, just straight on the rim. Well, Sander, we're just recapping. So if you've seen all of these before, you just get my commentary about them. All right. So then the green category, the military clothing descriptors, right? You wear camo, drab, something that doesn't stand out, fatigue. I was going to look that one up, actually. Why do... Why do we call military clothing fatigues? Military clothing is called fatigues because the term originally originated from the French word fatigue, meaning tiredness. It was initially used to describe the work uniform by soldiers performing physically demanding tasks. Okay. That was a lot more straightforward than I thought it was going to be. All right. Yeah, and khakis. Oh, you thought I was ending the stream because I said I was tired? That's funny. Yeah, I am tired, but I would like to go over these with you. I have kind of a system, right? We recap everything from top to bottom. And then used in ventilation, right? We got ducting, the exhaust, the hose, the pipe. If you go onto my channel, I spent quite a while, longer than I should have, cleaning out my dryer. I stripped my dryer down to the screws and then cleaned out every last little piece of it. And then I took some of those like cleaner, it's like a drill attachment. You clean it like a brush that goes all the way up the pipe. Then you vacuum it out. So that was kind of cool. My admin is not on right now. Yeah, I am. Look at me. I am the captain now. Failed to take advantage of as an opportunity to blow, to lose, to miss, and to waste. Waste an opportunity. All right, the mini was fun. It was self-referential, this first one. 5x5 crossword, the mini. I love that. Breakfast sandwich option. Do you want bacon? Yes. Do you want sausage? Also yes. Do you want it on a bagel? Yes. Do you want it on an English muffin? Also yes, on top of that. I love breakfast sandwiches. It's one of my favorite things to make. One of my favorite things to eat. I could eat breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love it. Can't watch your streams every day because I have school every day. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get that. Some people have year-round school, and there's no stopping it. From way back when, of old. Like much toothpaste, minty. Love minty toothpaste. I love neem toothpaste. I do not like cinnamon toothpaste. Cinnamon toothpaste, cinnamon gum. No. Can't do it. I like real cinnamon, but that fake artificial cinnamon flavor, yuck. Can't do it. Love minty toothpaste. First, second, or third, but not fourth base. Okay, so a little while ago, Jean-Michael said that 8 across, this one, first, second, or third, but not fourth, is a clue for July 31st connections puzzle, which makes me a little nervous because I don't know if, I think I told you this, but Harry Potter and I share a birthday, and I don't want hard puzzles on my birthday. I want to enjoy my birthday. Come on. So something about baseball. I'm not super well versed on baseball, so I hope I do okay. Party game with accusations from villagers. Mafia. What a fun game. There's a couple of kind of, variation games on that. Total Legends. Icons. Actor Nick Nolte of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, if I can spell his name correctly. The NBA's Pacers. Indy. Right? The Indiana Pacers. Familiarly. And then fail at stand-up. Man, if you're not a very good stand-up comedian, you're going to bomb on stage. Okay, the Wordle was tricky today. We got it in 5, but I had very little help. There we go. I pushed the wrong button. So the Wordle today, I had chant to start out with, and that was no help. And then mouse. I should have guessed mousy. I'm still kicking myself for that. There was an M and there was a U, and then the word bride, and I should have guessed the Y. because then the E would not have been a non-intersecting word, would have been an intersecting word that would have worked. And then the Y, it would have told me the Y. It's a yellow. Or that would have been green, actually. And then I could have gotten it sooner, maybe. I don't know. You thought, you just had it in your heart of hearts that jumpy was the right answer? You just feel it. So then we guessed lumpy. And it told me, hey, greens all the way except for the first letter. And then we went to jumpy, the J for jumpy. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, usually we get that one on the 4th. You can see that. We've done 150 streak. That's pretty cool. That is really cool. There's going to be a time pretty soon here that I'm not going to be at home. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do a live stream not at home. I've got kind of my little home base set up here. It's got my keyboard. I've got all these pieces to make my live stream happen. And it happens really good. I love the way it runs. But I'm like, oh, what am I going to do when I'm not at home? What if I'm at my in-laws or something? You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do here? So we'll have to come up with maybe a second game plan in case everything falls apart. Okay. Yeah, like, what am I going to do? I have these great streaks. What am I going to do if I'm, like, camping for a week, you know? Like, what if I don't have internet for a long time and I can't? I literally I can't live stream anything. I'm going to lose all my streaks. That stinks. All right, so then the Strands puzzle today, the theme was nap time, sleepyhead. See the spangram right there, sleepyhead. I love that it's horizontal, too, like it's laying down. For some reason, you're the only streamer I can watch because every time I scroll to a different streamer, it just shows a loading screen. Oh, no. Well, that's not fun. Glad you got to stick around here, though. Glad you got to be with me. That's fun. We get to do the puzzles together. So these are synonyms of being tired, right? You can see tired there. Knackered. I'm knackered. I'm drowsy. Hopefully you're not drowsy when in the car. That's dangerous. You're fatigued after a long day. You are spent after a long day. I am always working on some crazy project, and I'm just absolutely wiped out, spent after those projects. Nice shower kind of rejuvenates you, but nothing beats just going back to bed and sleeping for a little while. Weary. I think of all the times that as a small child, I was like, oh, it's terrible to take a nap. I fought taking a nap. And then looking back at it, I'm like, I should have napped. I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I nap when I could have? I could have been napping all those times as a kindergartner or a preschooler, and they do nap time. I'm like, why didn't I nap? All right. So then with the letterbox today, letterbox was fun. We started with the word exiling, right? There was an ing available, so I used that just to get rid of the X. I wanted to get rid of the hard words first, the letters. And then the G, used up the H for ghoul. And then lichen. Actually, that one had an H in it too, didn't it? Lichen, like the moss on a tree. And then N for nerf. Nerf used to be a proper name, and now it is a verb, meaning to dumb down, to nerf something, to dumb it down. What was my least favorite subject when I was in school? When I was in school, English, reading, right, was my least favorite. If I had to read any kind of literature, right, read the directions on a page or read a book, I hated it. I detested it. And then I found out after I graduated from high school, I got a pair of glasses. These glasses right here. Not these specific glasses, but I started wearing glasses. Like, literally, I was done with school, and then I got glasses, and I was like, I can see. Wait, there's words on the page, and they make sense. I still have a hard time tracking lines. I think it's a dyslexia thing, but I track a line, and then I, like, go bump up again, and I'm like a broken record. I read the line. I'm like, wait, I read that line already. So I have some tactics, right? I'll usually bring like a bookmark or a sticky note or something, and I will track the line. So when I read, and then I'll bump down, I'll read, and then bump down and read to track. But yeah, English was my least favorite. Now, if you're in a country that doesn't do English, it's not your primary language, you probably had, language arts, literature, that kind of stuff in your home language, right? And then maybe an English class on the side. Here in the U.S., we have an English class that goes over reading and comprehension and all that stuff. Classic literature in our language and stuff. And then as like a world languages, we would either learn Spanish or, like the close by languages. What was available to me was French, Spanish, and German. I took 0 German. I took 3 years of Spanish, and then I took a tiny bit of French when I was younger in elementary school, later elementary school and middle school. I took some French as well. Which is really funny. If I took French and I took Spanish, mix them together is basically Portuguese. And I spent 2 years in Brazil, and I know Portuguese really well. Even 20 years later, I'm still conversing with people, in Portuguese. So it's pretty awesome. It's a good skill to have to know another language beside the one that you were born into. To communicate with other people, it helps you realize just how small the world really is. It's very humbling to take part in someone else's culture. So, all right. Well, you guys are great. You're just a kid and your eyes are already blurry. Consider glasses. It might change your life. I'm serious. Yeah. So, anyway, I loved world language. I loved... Now, I should say this, too. There's a moral to the story. I hated English. I hated reading when I was a kid. Right now, I was actually literally just yesterday talking to my wife about this in the car. I was like, all those books that, I skipped in high school? I can't even remember. The Canterbury Tales or the... Of Mice and Men or Animal Farm or 1984 or all these, some are dystopian novels, but some of them are really good. To Kill a Mockingbird, right? These things that were forced to read in school, and I'm like, no, I don't want to read it because I was told to read it. Now looking back at it, I'm like, why didn't I read that? I should have read that. What a great opportunity. And I'm actually wanting to open those books up and maybe even read them with my kids. Maybe not Of Mice and Men. That one gets a little dicey. Or Lord of the Flies or something. But some of these great American classics that I never read. I maybe did the Cliff Notes, right? And nowadays I might have asked ChatGPT. But nowadays I'm like, oh, I can't wait to read. I'd love just a break and just read. It's so funny how the tables turn, huh? All right. Well, you guys are awesome. Thanks for a great stream. Sanders said my least favorite subject is AP history about our country. Yeah, but still exciting subject because after AP is going home time. All right. Well, you get to go home, huh? Cool. All right. Well, that's awesome. I love it. Thanks for a great stream. Thanks for figuring out these puzzles with me. Thanks for some fun chat. And like I said, if you like what you see, give it a like. Consider subscribing. And we do this every day. So I'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.